what is it? It's like Flexbox and CSS grid, and SARs are less. So these are the things we guys have explored on the front end. And while talking about the backend, here we guys have explored the Node.js, Flask, Express, and PHP, and those things we haven't done, but we have just on that can be used PHP and Java. And then while talking about a database, we guys have on MySQL, MongoDB, and PostgreSQL. Out of that, we guys have explored two databases. One is PostgreSQL and another one is MongoDB. And then we guys have explored about the application programming interface. And while talking about the APIs, we guys have did a lot of things with the help of APIs. And then we guys have explored the containerizing and deployment. And while talking about containerization, we guys have explored about the Docker. And then while talking about the deployment, we guys have explored about the Heroku. And then we guys have on the render, and then we guys have on the just a list like AWS, Azure, and those things. AWS, which is going to be added, the additional value which is going to be added as per the commitment later. But here we are ending our full stack web development series. But additionally, some of the additional video session I'm planning to add. So whenever we are heading at that free time, I'll be adding that bonus value. So and then we guys have explored about the version control, especially like Git and then GitHub. And even in the Git and then GitHub, we guys have explored CI/CD pipeline. We guys have deployed it. So Git and then GitHub with that what to say? It's like Heroku, I think. Yeah. So both the things which has been deployed, which is a CI/CD pipeline. And then we guys have explored about the various stacks. Out of that stack, we guys have created one application by using three different front-end design part. One is like React, Angular, and Vue.js. And then in the backend, even we guys have done the project on mostly on Node.js and Express. And also we guys have did the project by using a Flask as well, by using a Python programming, and even the generative AI also we guys have learned. But in the generative AI approach, we guys have did completely in a different way. Instead of using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and Angular and those things, we guys have used completely Python-based, the application we have created, generative AI-based application, which is by using a Streamlit. With the Python, we guys have deployed the generative AI to create the chatbot for the companies. So likewise, we guys have crossed really a long way. And in the upcoming days, we are planning to update the remaining some bonus lectures. But definitely this is okay. But additionally, whenever you are getting a time, you just spend more time on JavaScript, because HTML and CSS, if you are learning a lot, you can just complete within a week. But the JavaScript, which is a very huge concept, it will come only after your practice. So that's the one of the consideration you need to do. So go and learn JavaScript like step by step. You have a lot of resources. I mean the theory resources, or even the chat GPTs out there. I'm not talking about the videos, because sometimes it might be there and here and you can just go through the articles based learning that programming languages step by step and those things. And apart from that, as we have already discussed this, whenever you are really learning or to become a full stack web developer, you should not just focus on to create the website how the people really want it. So apart from that, you need to work on optimization. Apart from that, you need to work on result oriented. Because you just imagine if you are creating a website, but if you don't know what is meant by bounce rate, then there is no use of creating a website. Because whenever people are landing in a page, suddenly if they are closing the page, which means that bounce rate might be caused because if the page is taking more time to load, or if the page is not interactive, or if that first part of the page is not interactive or informative, so people will leave. Whenever people are keep on leaving from your website, the bounce rate is high. Whenever the bounce rate is high, Google will push your website away. It is not going to be listed, even not in a single first page or second page or the third page. So that's how you should be considering that optimization and the results oriented. So that's a very important thing which we really wanted to consider apart from this. So I hope you understood that, and I hope you're all ready for the today's session. So while talking about the today's session, how to build an effective resume, because you started learning now you are going to go and master the JavaScript, and you are going to master the projects which we have done, and you are going to have a very good idea about each and every line by line what are all the things we have did. Everything you are going to master it. And also we guys have shown how to build your portfolio to showcase the projects which you have done, or the project which you are going to do, which is going to be updated in your personal website or in the GitHub profile, and etc etc. So that video also I'm planning to add, guys, like how to add that or create the GitHub profile and those things. So yeah, so some video might be updated, but here we are, 30 days is of full stack web development series is completed. But additionally, as bonuses, I'm planning to add some video, as I've already told you. So how to build a resume. So that's what the very important thing. So while talking about the resume, I'm really seeing a lot of people who used to prepare only one resume, and they will apply for 5 to 6 job roles, and they will wait for the interview call, and they are not getting an interview call, and they are blaming the companies are not calling me. I've even applied 6 companies, and whenever I'm asking my friend, or whenever I'm asking my neighbor or something, he or she used to tell, I'm still trying, I'm still trying. What you have done, what you have tried. They used to tell, I've applied for 6 jobs, but there is no even an interview call. Guys, always I would like to start the session with a quote: don't do the same thing and expect different results. You have created one resume, that resume you have mentioned something, and if you are applying for the job, if you are not selected, and don't do the same thing again and expect different results like company will be selecting you. So no, okay, because you should do the different things to expect different results. So on that aspects, while talking about the resume building, the first thing which we need to talk about the purpose, because a lot of people fail to understand the purpose of it, and they are just simply making their PowerPoint or borrowing from the friend, and changing their just names and applying it. So that's why, so while talking about the purpose, nothing created without a purpose. And also, if you are really analyzing the billboards, I hope you all know the billboards, right? Billboards in the road or something. Okay, whenever you are really seeing certain billboards like this, okay, so what is the purpose of this billboard? Of course, you will be calling simply as a marketing, but additionally, while talking about the billboard, they will be driving their car in just 40 kilometer minimum per speed whenever they are really traveling. So within that 2 to 3 seconds, they need to impress the people who are all passing the road. So that's what the purpose of this billboard. Okay, that McD need to stand in the people's mind when people are crossing the road. That's what the purpose of this billboard. And try to understand the purpose. That billboard's main motive is not to make the McD to stand in the people's mind, but also they should grab their attention within that 2 minute. Within that 2 seconds or 5 seconds. So that's a very important purpose of that billboard, which is present in the road, especially in the highways, or especially in the very clean roads. So because you just imagine if it is talking about a McD, if the people are talking about the McD, okay, the people McD is going to talk about its features, when it has been started, and these are all the difference between McD versus other KFC or something, or what are all the special additional things which you can able to get from the McD, how it is different from others. They are not explaining those things. Okay, they are not explaining all the things in the billboard, because that billboard purpose is to grab the attention within the 2 minute. So that's what the purpose of this billboard. So they need to impress within that 2 second. So that same as like whenever you are preparing your resume in a short time, your marketing tool, because resume is nothing but your marketing tool, which is needed to satisfy a hiring manager or a ATS tool. Okay, that's what the purpose of a resume. And while talking about that, resume is another important purposes, you are going to sell yourself. Guys, always remember, I always used to tell, only technical skills is not going to help you in any way. You need to know another very important skill, which is selling. And especially whenever people are applying for the jobs, you need to know how to sell yourself, because there is one requirement from the company, and you need to satisfy that you are the right person for that role. And as a company, they might be facing a lot of problems, and they really want some engineer to solve their problems. and they are going to publish a JD, I mean job description, to tell whatever they really wanted. And whenever they are posting something, so your resume, because you can talk, yes, you can talk, you just imagine, let me open the Naukri, and let us filter out the some of the JDs. Okay, so once you have gone then here, I'm going to type full stack web developer. Okay, so full stack web developer, and experience is fresher, and enter location, let me put Chennai or something. Okay, let me search, and whenever I'm doing the search, you can see some results out there. And okay, so now you can see this is what the thing, and web developer, govchi, some technologies. So likewise, there are a lot of companies out there. Okay, what you are going to do is, I'm going to choose something. Okay, record some technologies, and here they used to write that descriptions, job JD, that is what the job description is all about. So they used to clearly mention what they really wanted. So they are choosing a stack on PHP, guys, PHP, HTML, JavaScript. So that's what they really wanted. And other than that, if you are choosing some other company, so they used to mention clearly what what they really wanted. So from that, you should be able to identify, or you should be able to satisfy them, that based on the requirement, your resume need to be satisfying them for the job role. So you need to make that resume, that kind of satisfaction need to be given based on ATS tools or the hiring manager who are all evaluating your resume. So that's what your main job role is. That's what the purpose of your resume. Okay. So hereafter, stop copying your friend, the friend who have got placed in a job, who have used some resume. Sometimes it's not going to be helpful. Okay, so don't do that kind of mistake. And first of all, while talking about the resume, it is not a history book. Okay, the people, they really don't want to know the complete history of you. They just really wanted to know, they have some problem statement, is this candidate can solve a problem or not, that problem or not. So that's why don't try to explain the complete history of you. It is not just a history book. Okay, I'm sorry, it's repeated twice. So it's not a history book. So you don't try to you don't try to explain everything about you. So very important thing which it should have is the contact information and experience and education and achievement which is relevant to the job. That's where people are making a mistake when people are using their other people's resume. So other people's resume might satisfy their requirement or their job relevant, but whenever you are just copy pasting your resume from others to for you, it might not satisfy that JD of the certain company. So it is not a history book. It's going to have a component such as like your contact information, very important thing, the first. And then the second thing, experience and education. I will be covering detail about experience and education. And third thing, which is like achievement relevant to the job. So based on the job which you are applying, what are all the achievement which is needed to solve their, which is needed to related to their problem statement. And first of all, what should it contain? There is let me split it into two categories. One is entry level and expert level. And if it is an entry level, it should have the information like contact details first and summary statement at second, and third is education and skills and experience, guys. So this is what it should have as a entry level. Okay, look out that whenever you are really seeing it. So this is for experience. Okay, so yeah. So while talking about the entry level, contact in details and the summary statement, like one liner or two liner about you. This is what the summary statements. And education, what you have studied, and your educational information, and your skills such as like these are all the skills which you have, and then experience, what experience you have. Okay, that's what as an entry level you need to do, because here you can see one. Okay, first let me explore the expert level. And while talking about the expert level, first as contact details and second as summary statement, as same as like that. But here experience is going to come at first. So remember, whenever you are a fresher, don't try to put your experience at first. Okay, because you don't have experience, simply clearly mentioning whenever in your resume I did this simple thing or something like that, it's not going to impress them, because It is not relevant. It is clearly, it will mention that you don't have any prior experience. So that's why in the entry level, education is coming at first and experience goes last. But if it is an expert level, experience is going to coming at first and education is going to be last. Because you just imagine you have done a 6-month intern or 1 year in a certain company. Like on the time you have some experience on working with a certain project. So that project is very important than what you have got, what the CGPA you have got in your college and what score you have got it in your higher studies. So that's not needed. So that's why based on your category, if it is an entry level, put your education at first. But here I would like to add that point. If you have some project experience, like in our full stack journey, you have completed that what is it that video testimonial tool kind of things, no? So if it is that kind of experience, if you can able to elaborate it properly, you can do it at first. But if you are not having any experience on those things, please don't put experience at first. Don't get caught by yourself. So please put the education at first and experience at last based on the category which it should contain in the resume. And here another mistake people used to do is people categorized into like people who have completed their degree and they are freshly applying for the job, or the people who have experience and they are going to apply for the job, or the people who have a year gaps and they will apply for the job. So I want to cover everything, guys. I hope you're really loving this. So resume formats. And while talking about the resume format, the first format which I want to cover it is about chronology. While talking about the chronology is a standard format and which focus on experience in chronological order. So let me show you the sample. Chronological. In the chronological, you can see first, what is the first point we have covered? In the chronological, it is a standard format. And second point is focus on experience. Focus on experience. That's what it's all about. And this experience should be in a chronological order. Chronological order in the sense, now if the year is 2024, so here that 2024 experience, 2023 to 2024 should be here. And 2022 to 2023 should be here. And 2021 to 2022 should be here. So that was the chronological order. So that's what we need to mention properly in the resume format. And third thing, suitable for experienced candidate with experience in the same industry. Guys, remember, you have worked in an IT company, which doesn't mean that you are experienced guy. No. Okay, some people used to think like they used to work in TCS in a testing department. And when they are applying for the job role as the full stack web development job role or something, on the time they used to think themselves as an experienced guy. No, you are not experienced guy because you are literally zero on that field. So that's why in the chronological kind of format of resume, which is suitable for experienced candidate with experience in the same industry, not zero experience in the new industry which you are going to apply for, but you have experience in a different department. No, it is not suitable for you. And preferred by HR, this chronological is the one of the first format, which this is the sample. Okay, here we have talking about the work experience, and even that is a work experience where you used to talk about the experience in a chronological order. Like this is the recent, and then next recent, and then next old one. Latest to old. That's what the chronological order here we need to mention. Whereas if you are talking about the functional resume, it is not a proper standard. Why I am calling it is a not standard is it is going to focus more on skills. It is not going to focus on experience. Okay, so here you will be telling, I can do this, but you don't have an experience. Suitable for candidate with a career gap. So those people who have a career gaps, so those people who can use that, this functional type of the resume. And you can see in the career summary, after the career summary, here they used to talk about the skills and strengths directly. What are all the skills you have? And professional accomplishments and something. So that is all going to be mentioned at first. But it is similar like this, guys, the entry level and expert level. So same as like the functional, which is suitable only for the people who have a year gap and suitable for candidate trying to change a domain. Okay, I told you, no, those people who worked in a testing department but who want to switch to the full stack web developer role, you need to use this kind of functional format. Because if you are clearly, okay, you just imagine, guys, you are a person who worked in TCS or some other bigger any MNC in a testing department. But now the job which you are going to apply for is a full stack web developer. On the time, if you are copy pasting your friend or some friend's resume, it is in a chronological order. In here, you will be putting a company name and the location, and the job title is testing engineer. And you'll be putting an experience here itself. Your resume will be thrown into the bin because you don't have an experience. Okay, at the even before you are talking about the skills, here itself your resume will be thrown into the dustbin. So that's why that is very important. Whenever people have a year gap, even whenever people are having a year gap, if you are clearly mentioning that, I'm not telling like you should hide it, but where it should be shown. Initially here itself, if you are showing your year gap, I have 4 years of year gap, like now you are applying for the job, but the experience which you have done is 2020 to 2021. So you have 3 years of year gap. If you have mentioned clearly, it is going to be clearly visible in this work experience itself, and they won't read the rest of the things. The first question, they will start with the year gap then. So that's why in a functional which is suitable for the people who have a year gaps or the people who want to change their domain and not preferred that much by the HR. And the combination, which is the combination of chronological and functional, equal focus on both skills and experience. And this is not suitable for the candidate with a year gap, because if it is, since it is a combination, it is not going to be suitable for the people who have a year gap. And it is very good, suitable way to capture the keywords from the JD. So which is a combination. So moreover, people will be using combination, and if it is a experienced guy, they'll be going for the chronological. But those people who have a year gap and those people who want to switch their career, please go with the functional format. And this is what the combinational, hybrid or combinational, where skills and accomplishment, work experience. So moreover, people will be going for the combination. But if the people who have a year gap and changing a domain, please use a functional type of resume. And while talking about the resume template, there are a lot of things. I've given you all the links. You can use Canva, you can use ChatGPT, but other than that, I've given you a lot of websites links. But out of that, one of my very favorite is this Enhance CV. Enhance CV is really amazing, guys. Okay, wait a minute. Let me give that link for you in this mind map, so that which is gonna be very useful for you. Yeah. So what is the thing is 24 web developer resume examples with a guide. Okay, they will be clearly mentioning that guide. Okay, I'll talk about that guide, but this website is going to give a very good idea about the resume, what are all the do's and don'ts and those things. But I'm here to cover that do's and don'ts right now. So parallelly, I'll explain everything. So here, before understanding about the resume templates and those things, first you should aware about the ATS. What is the thing is, you just imagine there is a company who is having required post. The post is for the full stack web developer job role, and there is going to be 1,000 resume which people have applied. And to evaluate all the 1,000 resume by putting one person to evaluate all the resume, which is impossible. So there is a tool called ATS, application tracking software, that is different for every company's guys. And even Facebook and Google and all, they used to have their own ATS tools based on their needs. Google, Microsoft and Apple and all, they'll be having a different ATS tools. But now I'll be revealing some of the ATS tools which I'm going to be sharing with you. You can use it. But what is the thing? So while talking about the ATS, instead of a person who are all going to evaluate all your thousands of resume, all the thousands are resume and the company's JD, which is need to be given as an input for this ATS tools. Okay, the company's job description and your all 1,000 resume will be fed as an input to the ATS tool. And ATS tool will give us the people. So before HR is going to touch your resume, ATS will screen your resume, ATS will rank your resume, ATS will select your resume, ATS will reject your resume. So that's where whenever people are applying for the lot of job roles randomly, like apply, save the same resume. They used to apply for 5 to 10 jobs. Most of the time, your resume might kicked out by the ATS itself. Doesn't even reach your HRs. So that's why first you need to satisfy the ATS tool. So what the ATS tool it is having as a reference, it has the JD as a reference, job description as a reference. Example, here they have clearly mentioned OOPS, HTML, JavaScript. But in this time, if you are applying for the full stack web developer job role by using React.js, your resume will be kicked out. Why, Sanjay? Why? Because in the ATS, it will process based on different factor, I'll tell you. But even as a human being, you can see there they are morely focused on OOPS and PHP and HTML and JavaScript. But if you have done just by using some other stack where you haven't even talked about the PHP, where you haven't even talked about the OOPS, your resume don't have a keyword of OOPS, your resume don't have a keyword of PHP, ATS score will be less and ATS tool will reject your resume. So that's what, before even HR seeing your resume, ATS will screen your resume, rank your resume, select your resume, reject your resume. And while talking about the ATS tools, there are a lot of tools out there, Talue and Kenexa, iSims and Workday and Homeground and SuccessFactors and etc. But other than that, if you really wanted to be currently using the tool which is more popular, always go there and top ATS tools or something like that. And because a lot of people already researched it and they have given you, don't see the sponsored. And apart from the sponsor, you can see the top 4 ATS tools in India. So you can just look out that even Talvista is here and you go higher is there. So likewise, you can go through based on that, because now I can give you this list of ATS tool, but some tools might be good enough after 6 months or something. So that's why I'm not telling exact tools. So I'm just giving a list. Go and do that and again, you can find out that. But here there is another mistakes which people used to do in a resume. Disadvantages of some ATS. Guys, remember one thing. Even you are eligible candidate. Okay, I would like to show you this disadvantages right now. So even you are eligible candidate, you have the right eligible criteria to get that job. But some ATS tool, based on some disadvantages over there in the ATS tool, it might reject your resume, guys. Isn't it really shocking? Yes. I'm telling you, even you are eligible, even your resume is good. If that resume which has been observed by the HR, they might select you. That kind of value resume you have, even though it is, but you might get rejected for the job by the ATS. So that's why you should not only satisfy your HRs, your resume should satisfy the ATS tool itself by understanding the disadvantages of the ATS tools. Some disadvantages for the some of the ATS tool. Not every tool is like that. The first thing is can't recognize abbreviations, guys. Sometimes in your JD, if you are if they are talking about what is it? CSS, most of the time they will mention as a CSS. But sometimes you will be using some abbreviations. Okay, like anything like with respect to WT or something like that. Or likewise, okay, whenever you are using abbreviations, sometimes that ATS won't recognize what is that. So for that, I'm not meaning that instead of writing HTML, don't write, please go and write hypertext markup language and all. No, I'm not saying on that way. It is based on the JD which they have mentioned. Sometimes if they have written like elaborated statement, your resume should also have the same. Okay, if they have mentioned cascaded style sheet or something, so you should also mention at any point. Sometimes you might be putting using a keyword like CSS, but another in a certain project, you just mention the cascade style sheet or something like that. So because sometimes it can't understand the abbreviation, so please avoid using abbreviations a lot. But don't go and don't make the decision instead of putting HTML, don't write like HTML hypertext markup language, because most of the time they will mention HTML and CSS only. They are not going to write in a full format. But for some of the other abbreviations, don't use it. That's the point number one. And point number two, whenever you are building a resume, don't create it with the tables. Still now, lot of people are processing or creating their resume by putting a tables. Guys, some ATS tool can't process the table, guys. In the table, do you know, like most of the people might have done that. So in the document also, I think there is sample. Okay, nothing. Okay, so you will be creating a table to describe the job descriptions. You will draw one table which has two columns and two rows or something, and you will write the content in the table, inside the table. Guys, sometimes ATS tool can't process the tables. So never ever create a tables in your resumes. That's the second point. Second disadvantage. And third disadvantage is not standard bullet points. Because in a resume, whenever some bullet points of information need to be displayed, don't use like other icons and emojis a lot. Whenever you are using, because here you can see the standard way of bullet points, 1 2 3 3 bullet points out there, but instead of that, don't use that checkbox, like checkbox in the sense this kind of check and all, don't use it. Okay, make it professional. If it is a bullet points, please use a bullet points alone. So don't choose like this. Okay, like sometimes people used to mark like checkbox or some other invalid format that it won't support sometimes ATS tools. So that's why don't use non-standard bullet points in the resumes. And can't recognize all the fonts, guys. Yes, because whenever you are creating a resume, make it proper and make use of some standard format, standard font, which is really looking good and those things. Don't use the cursive writings or very abnormal thing or cursive things and all. Please don't use it. Like you can see this one or this something like that. So don't use that kind of non-available standard formats. I mean the fonts. And another very important thing, can't recognize animation, flow charts, and some colors. Yes. Guys, whenever you are building a resume, don't add the animation thingy or any charts. As I've already told you, even it can't able to process the table. How can it process the charts? Please don't include the charts. And also, don't use much colors in your resumes. So that's also going to kill your resumes weight. Okay, so that's why don't use the lot of colors in your resumes. And then, very important thing, people are not aware about it. Don't recognize inappropriate keywords. Because you just imagine if you are from electrical department, in your resume you will write like e-bike. Okay, that's how you will write in your resume. But do you know one thing? Whenever you are writing like this e-bike, it will recognize it is a e separately and bike separately. It will consider that is a e is a spelling mistake and bike is the word. Because even when I'm hitting e-bike at enter, let us scroll down and see. Okay, everything everywhere they have mentioned electric bike. Okay, so either you should mention as like a electric bicycle or e hyphen bike. Okay, you should not use e space bike. Whenever you are using e space bike, it will be considered as a spelling mistake. So e is simply a one letter and bike as a separate word. So it will recognize both the things in the individual manner. So never ever make this mistake. If it is a e-bike, either use e-bike. Sometimes it will recognize, sometimes it might not detect it. On the time, please use a electric bikes instead of e-bike or e-space bike or something like that. So that's what another very important thing. And then file formats. Of course, whenever you are preparing a resume, please don't send a Word documents and all, because I've got one resume as a Word document. Please don't do that. Please send always in a proper format, a PDF format. So that's what the disadvantages, guys. And also, while talking about ATS tools, sometimes ATS tool will support Word or sometimes it will support the PDF. So for the ATS tool, so you need to give a proper format. They simply check what the format they are really asking for. They're really asking a PDF or something. So try to check out, and based on that need, you need to send that certain format. Because what if the format which you have sent is not matching with the company's ATS tool? The ATS won't process your tool. It will give you an error and they will skip it and you won't get any calls. your resume even not even getting evaluated. So that's what, these are all the disadvantages of the ATS tools, guys. So whenever you are creating a resume, please keep this point in your mind. And while talking about the process, it will do the two things. ATS I'm talking about. Number one is knockout or screening questions, and point number two is keyword search. The first thing, knockout and screening questions. Guys, here it is not on resume, guys. It is on what is it? It is on general tools. Even if you are really applying in a Naukri or any company's website, they will ask you some yes or no questions, or some short answer questions, some rating questions, some multiple choice questions. Please be careful on those questions. Those questions are not a question to just to ask some questions before uploading a resume. No, those questions might be asked by a ATS tool. So ATS will kick you out based on your responses which you are giving for those questions. So whenever you are applying for the job role from your resume, whenever you are applying for the job role through the company's website, please don't fill those kind of forms randomly by yourself. Never ever do that, because whenever you are randomly filling up that form, you are not aware that ATS is really watching you like this, and it is going to be kicking you out from the process. Even it won't allow you to upload even your resume. Even is it really shocking? Yes. So whenever any company is asking you a question, please be aware about the question. It can be a yes or no question. It can be it can be a ratings question. It can be a multiple choice, or it can be a short answer question. Please think before you answer. And also, do you know one thing? Whenever you are answering for that certain questions, don't take 15 minutes of time to ask the ChatGPT and search it for. All the time will be recorded. So when how much time you are taking to respond to one question, and what is your answer? Is the yes or no? How much decision you have added, and did you click the no first and then did you click the yes? Everything will be recorded. So that is what the knockout or screening questions, which will automatically filter out the people who are all not satisfying those questions. It is going to be, they are going to kick out from that process. In between itself, they will ask the next question again. Thank you so much for your answers. Likewise, and it will be kicking you out from the interview process. So HR is not only the guy who is going to kick you out. Even normal question bank will kick you out. Even your ATS tool will be kicking you out. So be aware about it. And the second important point, ATS will process your resume based on the keyword search. So while talking about the keyword search, if it is a hard skill, so moreover, in talking about the hard skill, where it is going to be on the technical aspects like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Angular, and those things. But while talking about the soft skills, sometimes in some of the resume, they used to mention that soft skills. Okay, like some other additional soft skills. Okay, web technology, oops, okay, jQuery, okay, these are all technical skills. But other than that, here they have mentioned some analytical and logical thinking, and sometimes they might mention as a teamwork, because they might have some team to work on it or something like that. So that is what the soft skill, if they are mentioning a soft skills, if the soft skill has been mentioned clearly in the JD, you need to mention that soft skill in your resume. Don't simply put soft skill, since because in the JD they have topped the communication skill. I have good communication. Never ever do that. Okay. So instead of putting like if in the JD they have mentioned a communication skills, don't put a title like soft skill, I have a good communication. No, don't do that. Instead, you should tell in the way like you just imagine when I find out the mistake which is present in the website's backend, and I've in a meeting, through a meeting, I've communicated it well. Okay, through my proper communication skills, I conveyed the mistake which is present in the backend of the web tool which the company has, and that really increased the user engagement rate to this percent. That is what the way how you need to explain. And then the job title, so which is very very important whenever you are seeing the JD. So what the job title they are mentioning, web developer, you need to clearly mention that web developer job role which you are applying for and your educations. And whenever ATS tool is analyzing all the keyword which is present in the JD, so your resume, when you are uploaded into the ATS tool, the keyword matching score should be above 80%. That's what this point number 2 is all about. Okay. So guys, are you clear? Are you all really feeling it is super value added? So if it is value added, you just give your comments in the live chat. Okay. So comments in the below. Okay. So now components of a resume. Now we are going to evaluate now we are going to go in deep onto every components. The first component is contact information. So now I'm going to compare it with this one, guys, because we already have this. Okay, so this is one of the resume. I have even given you the link, guys. So the first point is contact information. While talking about the contact information, the point number 1, while talking about a phone number, these are all the elements which it should have. So your name, and after your name, your phone number and your email ID, and these things I'll talk about it. But whenever you are mentioning your phone number, it should not be your landline numbers. No. Okay, it should not be your landline numbers. And whenever you're talking about an email ID, so here you'll be writing an email ID. Don't write an email ID like sanjaydchamp@gmail.com. Don't do that. Okay, what is mean by the champ there? Okay, you are champ, but you should not do that. You should not use the silly kind of words in your Gmails. Okay, sanjaydchamp@gmail.com. I used to have before, then I changed it into professional way. Yeah, because I'm really sharing my experience. So don't do that. sanjaydchamp@gmail.com. Sanjay the Mars or the Great Warrior or your hero names, your favorite hero or something. Don't do that. Email ID should be professional, point number 1. And second thing, email ID should be easy to remember. Because a lot of times people will be writing their name and they'll be putting the complete date of birth. 16/11/1996. Guys, it's very hard to remember what is that email ID is. So yeah, I really know all people are struggling to write down the proper email ID, but take a time. Now you have a ChatGPT, take a time and find out the valid, proper, professional email ID. Don't use unprofessional letters and words and more number of, if it has some numbers, it is okay, but some people are putting 6 numbers in their email IDs. It's not good. Okay, people will be hard to remember that. So your email ID should be simple and professional, and it should be easy to remember. And while talking about your LinkedIn or profile, personal website or GitHub links, guys, if you don't have anything in a LinkedIn, okay, you haven't shared anything about the full stack web development in the LinkedIn, if you haven't posted anything about the full stack in a LinkedIn, if you haven't described anything in the LinkedIn, if you haven't talked about any full stack project in your personal website, if you don't have any project in your GitHub profile, don't put that in your resume. Okay, because you have created a LinkedIn account, it does not mean that you need to mention your LinkedIn link in your resume. Please don't do that. If it has nothing, don't put it in your resume. Okay, but instead you just take some time before applying the resume and put a lot of posts related to that certain job role and get some lot of responses, which is going to be really making sense. Okay, so whenever you are mentioning a LinkedIn link or GitHub link or website links, please don't mention it if it is empty. If it is having nothing, please don't mention it in your resume. And while talking about the location, please don't write your complete location. So the company, they just wanted to know where you staying so that you can come there to office, or that's what they really wanted to know, where you are staying. So don't try to explain all the address, the whole address. You can just mention where you are coming from. So this showing now, this Chennai. So that's it. That's enough. Other than that, it doesn't serve any purposes. Okay, and don't put the pin code numbers and etc. etc. Don't do that. Just showing now Chennai or something like that. So just try to put that. Okay, don't try to explain everything. And even if you are applying for the Bangalore kind of companies, just mention the state. Okay, TN or Tamil Nadu or something like that. So that's going to be very, very helpful. So that's what the location. So this is what the contact information, everything is clear here. So your name and the job role which you are wanted, this you are going to apply for. and this phone number and your email ID and your LinkedIn link and your location and your GitHub profile page link and the website, personal website link. So everything need to be given. And second important thing is resume's heading or summary. Whenever you are talking about this summary, guys, lot of people making lot of mistake in the summary. So while talking about the summary, they simply write I am good at this, I did this, that's it. So your summary, this paragraph, which is very, very important, guys, because based on your JD, if you wanted to incorporate all the keywords, that can be easily done in the summary, guys. So while talking about the summary, you need to tell your strength, your experience, your skills, your accomplishments. Everything should be mentioned in your summary which you are creating. Guys, is it making sense? So in that summary, while talking about the first thing, experience, you can clearly see that. So whenever you are talking about your experience, don't just put, I have this many experience, that's it. Don't do that. You need to explain in the way of APR or CAR. So if you are asking me the question, then Sanjay, what is the meaning of APR? APR is nothing but action problem result and challenge action result, which is like, instead of putting, I have 2 years of experience as a front-end developer. That is not just a roles and responsibility. It is very bad to mention I have 6 months experience in full stack web development. It is not a proper way to write a summary. Instead, how can you write this? I have 1 year of experience in the front end where I have achieved or the website which I converted from 20% engagement rate to 80% engagement rate. Okay, so which is like you have solved a certain problem or you have shown some result. Okay, action or in another way, I have worked on this part where in a certain, as an intern in a certain company, when I'm working I found out one majority of the mistake or problem in the backend. By solving it, our user engagement rate were this. So that's what, whenever you are writing a summary, you need to focus on all things, your strength and your experience and your skills and what you have accomplished. So whenever you are writing it, guys, don't just consider it simply, go and do a checklist. You can see experienced full stack web developer with over 5 years of experience. So here they are mentioning what is the years of experience. In WordPress, custom theme building and editing, proficient in web technologies and WordPress platform. So he is telling proficiency with experience in Elementor, WP Bakery. These are all the skills. He is adding everything inside this. Okay. And similar plugins known for attention for detail and excellent communication skills. Can you see that? How the skills were there, and even it is not that much good, but you just wanted to add strength and experience and skills and accomplishments. Okay, that's what you need to do. And also, okay, this is what you should do here. But remember, even in this website, they used to mention it clearly. Here, let us talk about the experience and accomplishment. So this is what the experience category. In the experience category, as I've already told you, the job role which you have worked on and the company name and from which year to which year period and what is the location of the company. It is very proper way of explaining. So just do that. And the very poorest way of explaining the experience. Okay, this is what experience he mentioned. But now, he or she mentioned, but now I would like to show you this. This is the majority of the people's resumes experience. They simply mention, I monitored website traffic and expanded reach to new user. I fixed the errors in the backend code. I wrote a new program to track a sales in a product department. Guys, it is junk. Junk. It is pure junk. I've already told you, you need to write this experience in the way of APR or CAR. That's how you need to write it. So, I'm sorry, I dropped. So, whenever you are, So, whenever you are going to, explain that experience, what is the proper way is this. Okay. So, doesn't include any measurable results. So, you need to drop the measurable results. For example, I increased the website traffic by 42%. So this is the thing which people really wanted, the measurable results. And unclear about whether initiative were successful or not. So he did something, but whether it is successful or not, don't know. Okay, so 42%. So he just increased the traffic and expanded reach to 1200 users in Q1 and located errors and debugged backend, improved customer satisfaction by 25%, and wrote a new program using HTML and CSS. Here you need to tell by using what you have done that. So I wrote a new program. Then the question is what program you have wrote. So I wrote a new program using HTML and CSS that resulted in an additional 550,000 in sales. So it's a proper way of explaining. So experience. And other important things, while talking about the skills, if you are applying for the full stack job role, please split it into a categories. Category in the sense front end, back end, databases. Likewise, you just put it in a different way. Now here people are doing another additional mistakes. They used to put the title like, They used to put their title like libraries, and in that library they used to mention a SQL. Guys, it is totally wrong. They will be completely unsatisfied that you don't know whether SQL is a library or something. Okay, so that is a database. So that should be properly in that category. If it is a front end, properly mention that front end skills in that category. Don't put React in the back end category. So that kind of confusion you should not be having. That's the point number one. And point number two, don't use repeated keywords. So in the programming, mentioning as something like not in a programming, in a backend you have mentioned Node.js, and again putting another title. Putting another title like this skill category, again Node. Don't use the repeated word inside the skills category itself. But the word can be repeated in the resumes, but it should not be repeated inside that certain category. Okay, that's what another important thing which you should be aware about. And so you can see this website is also providing what are the top hard skills for the web development in a resume. And while talking about the strengths, so based on the resume, if the people really mentioning the work need to be done on time in the JD, you should put this as a strength and you need to write the proper in a way. And also it is also statistically like maintain 8 company website with 90% average customer satisfaction rating. It's really convincing, so convincing. And while talking about whenever you are facing an errors, I identify the errors and debug the client program that result in an additional 45,000 in revenue. And while talking about the teamwork, you just don't put like I am good at teamwork. Don't do that. I collaborated with 6 other developers to create a mobile app that received a Coding Magazine Best Application to Watch Award in 2022. Is it amazing, guys? And if you are telling me like, Sanjay, I don't have that kind of experience, then what you should have done is I've posted this kind of one YouTube video on this content. I've delivered properly and which it reaches this many people, something like that. Okay, and these are all the list of some soft skills which you can just go through it. And even I've shared you a lot of links in this platform, guys. You just check that out. Everything which is going to be super useful. And how to list your education. And while talking about the education, just mention what is the degree and from where you have completed and what is the period and CGPA and all. If it is needed, you can just put, but it can be optional. And while talking about a certification and what is the certification professional, what they have accomplished and from where you have done that. So that's what the certification, how you need to mention it. So this is how, certified web professional, web developer, master certified web professional designer. So likewise, there are a lot of certification that is also been listed. This is an amazing cool looking website. And as I've already told about the summary, passionate web server developer with experience in e-commerce, skilled in mobile app development and user-friendly design. It's just scrap, completely scrap. Instead, full stack web developer with 7 years of experience in e-commerce. I created a mobile banking app that was rated #1 in user-friendly design in 2021, seeking opportunity to leverage expertise and increase customer satisfaction at Cashtech Co. So that is how you need to explain that summary properly. And whenever you're talking about the projects, as I've already told you, your project should not be like, I did this project. That's it. No, you should not do that. Instead, first of all, project, and what is the project name, and this period is not needed. But if you wanted to mention how much duration you have taken to complete the project, if you want to mention, you can mention it. And the mobile app to find and review local coffee shops. First, increased foot traffic for 80% of the shops on app, and improved customer satisfaction rating by an average of 35% on the top 5 ranking shops, and voted best community app in the Austin magazine in 2022. So that's how you need to mention that. And how to put in awards. If you have received award from industry publications, not just simple awards or those things. So if you have received awards from industry publication or other relevant, showcase them for the potential employees. So recognized by the Tech Magazine in 2021 for the designing an app with our outstanding creativity, only if it is relevant to the JD, only if it is relevant to the job role which you are applying for. Hobbies and all, now a lot of people are not using it. If you wanted, if you don't have anything, if you don't have experience or nothing, you can just fill it up, but it's not going to be useful much. And other than that, you can just evaluate this kind of templates, guys: junior web developer, senior Oracle developer, senior web developer, entry-level web developer, Angular developer. So a lot of resume which is out there, guys. Go and check this out, okay, which is really, really amazing website. I think this discovery is an amazing thing in the series. So just go through it, which is going to be really, really blow your mind away, and which is going to be really, really helpful. And on the upcoming days, I'm trying to plan another additional video how to use the ATS tool, because it's very easy. The JD and your resume, which is going to be given as an input. So then you'll be getting a score of it. So what is the score? Based on the score, you'll be determining whether it is worthy to consider or not, or you need to rework on the resume. Because always remember, don't just create one resume to apply for all the job. Instead, if there is one job role, take that job role and prepare your resume based on that based on that JD. Minimum you need to spend 30 minutes for one resume to apply for one job. So on the day, if you're going to apply for 10 jobs in a single shot, you need to spend 30 minutes each for each resume for each job role. Okay, is it making sense? And while talking about some of the rules which I have added, number 1, use proper email ID. And resume should be 1 page, but maximum 2 pages. But moreover, you can complete it in 1 pages, because even this template, which is really looking good, which is also having all the informations. So it is good. And also, don't at the end of the resume, don't talk about your blood groups. That is all scrap, guys. Okay, no one is going to do with your anything like your blood groups. Okay, so please don't mention such kind of unwanted things. So, and don't mention anything which you don't know. Yes, very important thing. Be transparent on your profile, guys. It's for an example, since because you have worked in all the things, or since because you have heard about all the things, you should not try to mention that in a resume. Don't do that. Okay, if you are just simply putting like I know blockchain, I know generative AI, I know machine learning, I know deep learning, I know all the topics. Whenever you are mentioning everything in that resume, it will lead to a confusion which you are good at it. Okay, so that's why it's not mean that you have heard about something, you should not try to mention that in your resume, because that will kill your interview process, or that will kill your job confirmation. Okay, if you know something, then mention, else don't mention it. Okay, and the 4th thing, which is okay, before another very important point, whenever people are applying for full stack job role, some people, they used to use, you can use machine learning libraries. These are all the experience which I've done, but don't talk more about the machine learning. Okay, you need to talk about it's based on the company. If it is a machine learning based web development company which is looking for, then you can mention. But other than that, I've saw some resume where in the web development job role, they are applying for the full stack web developer role. And in the project section, that project is only on the machine learning. There is no project on a web development. But in the experience, they have mentioned experience related to web development. Okay, but that's okay. But other than that, in the project section, there is no one project section on project on web development. It is just only on the machine learning. That's one of the biggest mistake. And another mistake, that resume, it has some repeated thing. They for keyword matching, I think they used a lot of same keywords in some places in a same category even. That's also a very big mistake. And another mistake, when people are talking about libraries, database, front and back end, people are still having some confusion by mentioning SQL under the back end or something. I mean front end or something. So you should be clear on what you are writing there. So that kind of clarity you should have. Because whenever you are typing a programming language, on talking about programming language, you are putting HTML okay, CSS okay, JavaScript okay. Then if you are putting React there, React is the wrong mention in the programming category. React should be in the category of libraries and frameworks. Okay, React should not be under the programming category. So that kind of mistake people used to do. Don't do that kind of mistakes. And create a minimal design resume. Don't use lot of colors and picture and all that much required. So you can use this kind of template, which is really looking good. So create a minimal design and don't use a lot of colors in it. Please use a basic maximum 2 colors. Okay, black, maximum black, because sometimes your ATS might not can't able to process the different colors of resumes. So please don't use over coloring and all. Just use 2 colors if you wanted, or make it as black. Okay, just play with that bold and semi bold and normal paragraph. That's important. And then here we have don't copy your friend's resume. That's a very important rule. Since because your friend got selected by the help of resume, you can use it to analyze it and evaluate it. But don't just put your name there and applying and expecting to be getting selected in a company. Don't do that. And don't just create one resume to apply for all the job. As I've already told you, whenever you're applying for the 10 job, you need to spend 30 minutes for each and every job role to match your resume for that ATS tool. So that's a very important thing. And then each resume should be created and matched with the job description with the ATS tool. Then only it should be ready to apply it. So your ATS, first of all, once you have prepared the resume based on the job description, you need to pass it to the ATS tool and your score should be above 80%. And once it has been done, then you need to cross-verify all the checklists which I've created in the mind map. So take this mind map before applying for the resume and try to even take a printout if you really want it, and take a pencil. And once you have prepared one resume, try to compare with each and every point and tick, 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 and then pass that resume into the ATS tool. And once it got above 80%, then go and apply. Until it is passing this mind map, never apply. Okay? So guys, I hope you really love this, and I hope you really thinking it's more valuable. And even if you can download it from here and you can modify it here as well, guys. Enhance CV, which is a very awesome website, which I've visited so far, because it's really awesome. Because even right now you have realized all the do's and don'ts they have clearly mentioned. Even for the front-end web development they have, even for the back-end web development they have, web application developer, because whenever the tools such as like video testimonial tool and all, which is going to be a web application development role. So on that the job role also, they used to give you the complete list, like work experience, the formats, and what is all the do's and don'ts, and all the pro tip and recommended reads, everything which is going to be clearly mentioned. So go and check this out. This is really, really super valuable. And other than that, yes, I told you, like some mail ID which it came Sanjay Dcham, so don't do that. So other than that, I hope you really enjoyed this final day on creating a resume. So always remember, morning to afternoon, learn. Afternoon to evening, do. Evening to night, showcase. If you are going for the colleges, learn one day, and second day do it, and on the second day itself, showcase it. Showcasing it in the sense, please be active on the LinkedIn platform, and use the Canva tool to create the posters for it, and get more followers, more networks in the LinkedIn platform. And even if you wanted to create the official Instagram page or something, you can also create in that way. But And also, if you want to create a YouTube channel also, you can create it, but you should keep on sharing your values and sharing your works. Because I know in our community we have a digital marketer who have learned from us. He just did a little modification. He just updated 2 or 3 posts, and he just changed, optimized his LinkedIn profile. He got 3 DMs. Out of the 3 DM, he attended 2 interview. From the 2 interview, 1 interview he got selected. It's not mean that everyone will be getting that, but it happened for him. Okay, that's why always learn, do, showcase. Don't forget to showcase it. Okay, and while talking about a showcase, share it in the LinkedIn. If you wanted to create another page and share it in the Instagram, but LinkedIn is very professional, go and do it in the LinkedIn. Don't forget, even by using a Canva, create some attractive image and write a description, some attractive description. Don't write a boring theory, blah 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 kind of description. Write a proper description with emojis, and give your GitHub link, and navigate the people to GitHub link, and give your website link and navigate the people into the website link. And whenever you are done a website kind of fully functioning work, you just give your email ID or your website's contact us page link. So those people who wanted this kind of website to be done, I am ready to do as a freelancer. So I can create a website for you. So likewise, navigate the people into your website and get the contact information, and you can just make a call to them. And as per the freelancing instruction, which we have covered yesterday, go and do the freelancing and make money. Okay, so that's what it's all about, guys, and I hope you really enjoyed. So hereafter, the session, don't think like session is completed. Hereafter, what is all your job role is, go and spend time on HTML. And HTML, documentize it, do lot of projects and create a GitHub profile for specific category for HTML alone. You can just do it, and separate for CSS and JavaScript if you are choosing that. Okay, morely JavaScript, which is very important. So go and try to learn the programming stuffs parallelly every day. If you are spending 1 hour, on that 1 hour, 30 minutes for programming and remaining 30 minutes for working on a certain project. Parallelly, whenever you're building a project, that's all you'll be mastering that programming languages. So you just build a project and showcase it, and keep on doing it in the LinkedIn. Be active on the LinkedIn, and whenever people are pinging you in the LinkedIn, go and give a responses and solve the GitHub problems, and try to attend some lead codes and those things. Go and practice it, and then dedicate minimum 3 months completely. Minimum every day you can just spend around 2 to 3 hours. You can spend, if you are dedicated 3 months dedicatively for it. Getting job is not that much difficult. It's going to be very very easy. So, and also whenever you are applying for the job, just remember, getting a job is easy. Whenever your friend or your neighbor, they used to tell like job role is not there, don't study that, don't believe anyone blindly. Go and do the self-analysis. Self-analysis in the sense, go and check it out on the Naukri or LinkedIn jobs or any other platform, and also go and check out the stats of the salary which is being given by the certain job role, and start preparing that 3 months. Lock yourself into a room and don't go anywhere else. No functions, no party, no no movies, nothing, nothing. Okay, and also other social medias, or completely uninstall it, and make your phone all turn off all the notifications, and dedicate yourself for the 3 months. In that 3 months, follow the thumb rule: daily learn, do, showcase, learn, do, showcase, learn, do, showcase. Keep on doing that. In the showcase, it is going to be included a personal website showcase, or a GitHub profile building showcase, or YouTube, or LinkedIn, or every type of showcases. Keep on doing it for every day. So, and once you are feeling I can try to apply for the job, on that time you just collect as much interview question banks or something. So try to attend all the question banks, everything. Just go through it. Even it is a 200 questions, spend 1 week to go through all the question banks and try to prepare for it, and then list down the top 20 companies on the certain field. And out of the 20 companies, go and attend the 20th company first. And whenever you're going to attend the 20th company, don't go in the mindset of, yes, you want to get selected, but other than that, if they are telling a get back to you, we'll get back to you, don't get demotivated. Just have a smile in your face and come out from the interview hall, and please note down there itself, because here's the another people used to do a mistake, which is people used to remember things. I know what the question they have asked. I will remember my rest of my life. Don't do that. Don't try to remember anything. Come out of the interview hall, take your notebook or take your mobile phone and note down all the questions which they have asked. Go back to that room, lock yourself, prepare. Again, go and attend the 19th interview, 19th company or 18th company or 17th company, 16th company. Here is the place where people are doing another mistake. Whenever people are getting failed in 5 interviews, they will apply for the BPO kind of non-growthful departments. Don't do that. So you should become a developers where you can able to scale your salary, which is going to be very, very easy. So always don't just focus on, yes, your family might be struggling, or your family really needs your money or something, your help. But for that, if you are going for the BPOs, it will kill your career. Okay, it will kill your career. Okay, but definitely people are jumping from non-technical to technical later, but it is all waste of time, because whenever you are there is a difference between the complete tech work versus the BPO to the tech work. Okay, because if you just imagine you have a 3 years of year gap, I mean 6 months or something, 6 months of year gap. You can show the proof in that 6 months. These are all the learning which I've done. You can see all the documentation which is available in my LinkedIn profile, which is all the documentation which is available in my GitHub, everything which I've done in that 3 months. So you can just tell that, so that even though you have a career gap, you can able to get the job. So go and keep on attending those kind of interviews again and again. Never give up. Even if you are getting failed, just laugh and just smile and just come to home and just again prepare. Again, based on the feedback, go and attend the review, attend the company. And if you have started getting selected in a certain company, go and attend the top 50 company, and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Definitely, you are going to be landed in a job role, guys. And another very important thing, once you have landed in a certain job role, even if it's a startup company or even it is a bigger company or anything, don't stop your learning process. Here you can leverage a bit and try to upgrade yourself in the technology. Whenever people are stop learning, your salary will be saturated, or you'll be kicked out of the company. So never ever stop learning. Keep on learning and upgrade your skills, and getting job is always easy. And also always think big. So getting a job is not just to be a goal. Always think big. Whatever you really want in your life, you should think big, because even though people getting job placed in a bigger companies through the layoff, a lot of people are losing their job. It is happening. So getting a job should not be your very end goal. But apart from that, you should retire at 45. You should have 1 crore of investment portfolio, 1 crore of health insurance for your parents, and living a luxurious life, luxurious house, and you have achieved a financial freedom. You have created 20 source of income, and you are really making a very good amount of money, and you can do whatever you really wanted, and you are comfortable, and you have created some assets for your upcoming family, your kids or something. So that's what the goal is. Okay, that's what the think big is all about. So always don't try to compare you with others, or compare yourself with you, like I'm this, or I'm this, I can't do this, I'm poor. Don't do that. Instead, try to throw over the negative thoughts and try to think big to achieve bigger. So that will make the people to becomes bigger. And whenever you are, another very important thing in my experience, whenever you are working in a certain company, if there is no pressure in that company, if that company is giving you a lot of comforts, that is not a right place. Because whenever there is some pressure in the work, whenever there is some learning in the work, you should shift to the company. Because that's why I told you BPOs and those things and all, it is a repetitive work where you are not going to get any learning. Whenever there is no learning in the work which you are doing, please don't do that job role. And also, whenever you are going for the certain company and that company is asking you to use some certain tools to work on the project, if you are going to from that company to another company, again your experience will be turned as a zero. So be aware about those things, and all the very best for your career. And I hope you really enjoyed this complete 30 days full stack web development series. Don't worry, remaining video I'll be adding as a bonus. Remaining, I think 1 or 2 to 3 videos might be there, so I will be uploading later. But other than that, great congratulations for all the love, all the support, all the interaction which you have given throughout this series. And also, I will schedule all the tasks in the community, guys. Please go and complete all the tasks, because always remember, knowing and not doing is equals to not knowing. So other than that, thank you guys. Thank you so much once again for everything which you have given throughout the series. I'm really feeling very, very happy to interact with you. And sometimes some bonus live, if it is conducting, you can attend it. So thank you. Thank you so much once again. All the very best for your career. It's me, Sanjay, signing off. Until then, bye. We'll see you on the next any other series.